Imagine a world where a boy from the streets of Brooklyn grows up to become the youngest heavyweight boxing champion in history.
What moments of joy for him, what moments of release. America was asking big questions about the talents of Tyson.
This is the story of Mike Tyson, the rise, the fall, and the fortune of a man who turned pain into power and power into a legacy. Mike Tyson was born on June 30th, 1966, in Brownsville, Brooklyn, one of the roughest neighborhoods in New York City. His childhood was marked by poverty and violence. His father left early, and his mother struggled to raise him and his siblings. By age 13, Tyson had been arrested more than 30 times. But even in the chaos, one thing stood out: his raw aggression and strength. It was at a juvenile detention center where a counselor noticed his potential and introduced him to boxing trainer Cus D'Amato. Cus D'Amato saw in Tyson something few could see: a future champion. He took the young fighter under his wing, training him not only in boxing but in discipline, philosophy, and confidence. Cus told him, "You're not just a fighter, you're a destroyer." Under D'Amato's guidance, Tyson trained obsessively. He studied old boxing legends like Joe Louis and Jack Dempsey, and soon began knocking out opponents in amateur fights. By 1985, at just 18, Mike Tyson turned professional, and the world of boxing was about to change forever. Tyson's rise was meteoric. He fought with unmatched ferocity, fast, powerful, relentless. His signature peek boot defense and devastating uppercuts made him nearly unstoppable. In 1986, at only 20 years old, he became the youngest heavyweight champion in history after defeating Trevor Berbick. That victory changed everything. Endorsements, fame, and fortune came rushing in. Tyson's fights sold out arenas and pay-per-view events. Brands like Pepsi, Nintendo, and EA Sports lined up to work with him. His net worth skyrocketed, and he became one of the highest-paid athletes on earth. By the late 1980s, Tyson was not just a boxer. He was a phenomenon. He earned over $400 million during his career, including a record-breaking $30 million per fight at his peak. He bought extravagant mansions across the United States, including a $4 million estate in Ohio with gold-plated furniture and a 50-foot indoor pool. He collected cars like a kid collects toys: Rolls-Royces, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Bentleys, and a fleet of Mercedes-Benzes. One of his most famous purchases was a $2 million golden bathtub for his then-wife, Robin Givens. He even owned 3 Bengal tigers, which cost him more than $70,000 each. Tyson was living like royalty, but the crown was heavy. As quickly as he rose, Tyson's life began to spiral out of control. The death of his mentor, Cus D'Amato, left a void he never truly filled. Without his guiding hand, Tyson's discipline slipped. His marriage to Robin Givens ended in scandal, and legal troubles began to mount. In 1992, Tyson was convicted of rape and sentenced to 6 years in prison, serving 3. When he was released in 1995, the world had changed, and so had boxing. Yet, Tyson was determined to make a comeback. His return to the ring was explosive. He reclaimed 2 heavyweight titles, earning tens of millions once again. But the controversies never stopped. His infamous 1997 fight against Evander Holyfield, the one where Tyson bit off part of Holyfield's ear, became one of the most shocking moments in sports history. That act cost him $3 million in fines and his boxing license temporarily. Still, the spectacle kept his name alive, and with every fight, the money poured in. He was a magnet for attention, both admiration and criticism. Throughout his career, Tyson earned an estimated $685 million. Yet by 2003, he was bankrupt. Lavish spending, poor financial management, and legal fees drained his fortune. He owed millions to the IRS, lawyers, and former associates. The mansions, cars, and jewelry were sold off. "I had everything, and I lost it all," Tyson admitted. It was a dark period, but also the beginning of his redemption. In the years that followed, Tyson transformed his life. He embraced sobriety, became a family man, and started rebuilding from scratch. His new career began not in the ring, but in entertainment. He appeared in blockbuster films like The Hangover, Ip Man 3, and Entourage. His self-deprecating humor and honesty won fans back. Tyson even launched a one-man stage show, Undisputed Truth, which toured internationally and later became an HBO special directed by Spike Lee. The show was a financial success and helped reshape his public image. Then came one of his smartest moves, the cannabis business. In 2016, Tyson founded Tyson Ranch, a marijuana company based in California. The brand sells premium cannabis products and merchandise, and it became a multi-million-dollar venture. Reports suggest the business now generates over $20 million annually. Tyson also announced plans for a massive 420-acre cannabis resort with luxury hotels, an amphitheater, and a weed-themed university. This move redefined his image from reckless celebrity to savvy entrepreneur. Today, Mike Tyson's net worth is estimated at around $10 million, a far cry from his former hundreds of millions. But this time, his fortune is stable and self-made. He earns from his podcast, Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson, where he interviews celebrities, athletes, and thinkers in open, unfiltered conversations. The show has millions of followers and significant sponsorship revenue. Tyson also collaborates with brands like Puma, Smart Cups, and Paramatch, tapping into his nostalgic yet relevant image. He's learned to use his past as an asset, not a burden. Despite his wealth, Tyson's lifestyle today is far simpler. He no longer lives in gold-plated mansions or drives a fleet of cars. Instead, he resides in a modest but luxurious home in Las Vegas with his family. He still loves cars. His collection now includes a Rolls-Royce Ghost and a Ferrari 812 Superfast, but the excess is gone. Tyson spends his days training, meditating, and raising pigeons, a lifelong hobby that keeps him grounded. "I don't need all that stuff anymore," he says. "Peace is the new luxury." Even so, the remnants of his lavish past are legendary. He once owned over 100 cars, multiple estates, and even private jets. His Ohio mansion, once filled with marble and gold, was later bought and converted into a church. That transformation became a metaphor for Tyson's own life, from chaos to calm, from fame to peace. In recent years, Tyson made another comeback, this time in the ring. In 2020, at age 54, he fought an exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr. The event sold over 1.6 million pay-per-views, proving that Tyson's name still sells. The fight reportedly earned him $10 million. More importantly, it reminded the world of his enduring power, not just physical, but cultural. He was no longer the baddest man on the planet, but a man who had learned to conquer himself. Tyson has also become an advocate for mental health and personal growth. In interviews, he often speaks about therapy, meditation, and forgiveness. "I had to learn to love myself," he says. "All the money in the world doesn't mean anything if you're still at war with yourself." This version of Mike Tyson is introspective, calm, and wise, a stark contrast to the volatile young man who once ruled the world of boxing. Looking back, his story is one of extremes: poverty to power, power to ruin, and ruin to redemption. Tyson's life is a cautionary tale and an inspiration at the same time. He's proof that wealth without direction can destroy, but loss can also rebuild. He once said, "Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth." For Mike Tyson, life threw a lot of punches, but he learned how to get up every time. Financially, Tyson continues to expand his empire. Tyson Ranch now partners with entertainment brands and wellness companies, while his NFT and digital ventures have brought him back into the tech spotlight. He's even launched Mike Tyson 2.0, a new cannabis line and lifestyle brand. From the ring to real estate, from chaos to calm, Tyson's second act has been about control of his finances, his emotions, and his destiny. Today, at nearly 60, Mike Tyson lives a life of balance. He still trains daily, recording episodes of his podcast and working on his businesses. His mornings begin early, often with meditation and exercise. By midday, he's reviewing projects with his management team or meeting with business partners. In the evenings, he spends time with his wife and children, often cooking or caring for his pigeons. It's a far cry from the wild parties of his youth, but it's the life he's proud of. "I'm not who I was," he says. "I'm finally at peace." As we look at Mike Tyson today, calm, centered, and still one of the most recognizable faces in sports history, it's hard not to marvel at his journey. From a violent childhood to global fame, from losing it all to finding peace, his story isn't just about boxing or money. It's about transformation. Tyson has lived multiple lives: the champion, the villain, the bankrupt star, and now the wise entrepreneur. And through it all, one thing remains constant: his ability to fight, not just in the ring, but in life.